Welcome back. You are listening to the Mari Mukunda Show on Salam Media, and we are also live on Facebook. So, whether it is cake, chocolate, or candy, whether it's tea without sugar, tea with sugar, or the cold drink with 0% sugar, either way, it has sugar, and sugar is part of our lives. But what happens when sugar becomes an addiction? Research has shown that sugar addiction is likened to a drug addiction. When you think about drug addiction, you think about, always needing to have your fix of drug. It sends you on a high. And, we hear words like sugar rush and sugar high and hyper this and hyper that. Is sugar really good for you, or is it killing you slowly? Joining me on the line is dietitian Moloko Mehlape to discuss sugar addiction and if we can quit sugar. Hi, Moloko. Moloko, your mic is muted. Can you unmute it, please? I can't hear you. No, I still can't hear you. It keeps on muting. It must be the network because just try refreshing it and come back. We'll come back to you in a moment. All right, so guys, if you have any comments, questions, or queries regarding this deal, you can leave them in the comments section below, or you can send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 0617660355. So some time ago, I watched a movie. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it had something to do with sugar. I think it's titled The Sugar Movie, something along those lines, where they really take you through the harms of sugar, how harmful sugar can really be, and how much we are actually consuming on the daily. We think that we are consuming very little sugar, but in actual fact, in essence, we are consuming a lot more sugar than our body requires. And the when this guy was going through the factories to show us how certain things are made, like sodas. The ones that they tell you that are 0% sugar are not true, because why do they taste sweet if they are 0% sugar? What else are they putting in those drinks to ensure that it still has the same taste, the same sweetness, yet it is 0% sugar? You should ask yourself those questions. They actually substitute another ingredient for the sugar, and that other ingredient is actually more harmful than the actual sugar which they substituted with initially. So, in essence, they are trying to sell us an idea that this product has 0% sugar, and if you drink it, if you consume it, it will be better for you. But that's not the case. That product actually has more sugar than the product that you would have consumed in the first place. So let's take a normal soda that we drink. We all buy sodas, okay, not all, because some of us don't drink soda. We buy soda, and that one bottle of soda that we drink, that 500 ml bottle of soda that we drink, has so much sugar in it. And if you were to count the tablespoons of sugar that was added in it, you would not want to drink it just like that, because that's what they did. They put the amount of sugar in tablespoons in a normal cup with water, and how it is in the bottle of cold in the soda. So in the soda, it looks like it's okay. It looks like it's normal. There's nothing wrong with this. I can just drink this and I'll be a-okay. And when you look at it in the water, you're like, I'm not going to put that much sugar into my body. But that's exactly what we do. That's exactly how they hide the sugar, so that we don't realize we are actually drinking that much of sugar. And if you think fruit juices are okay, fruit juices are just the same. They sound like they have great properties because they're made out of fruit and they're 100% fruit juice and they have bits and pieces of fruit in them. They have sugar. lots and lots of sugar in them. I just wish I could remember the name of the movie so that you all could go and watch it, and you'll get a better idea of why sugar is not so great for us and why we should be cutting down on sugar. And while we wait for Moloko to join us, we can talk more about sugar and its harms and its benefits, if any. But yeah, too much sugar is not good for you. You don't want to be having a sugar rush and needing sugar like a drug, because that's what it will become if you have too much of it. Too much of a good thing is not good for you, anyways. Moloko, let's try now. Hi, Moloko.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, on yourself. Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay.
All right, thank you for joining me. So, first of all, what causes sugar addiction?
Okay, sugar addiction involves a whole lot of higher processes in the brain. So that is why we say people need to have small frequent meals. If you spend too much time without eating, your blood sugar levels are going to drop. And when your blood sugar levels are dropping, your body will try and find a way of telling you that you need to eat something. That's when the body induces cravings for either sugary fatty things or for salty fatty things. So we always advise people to have small frequent meals to avoid sugary cravings.
Mm-hmm. Uh, what does sugar really do to our bodies? Like, if we have too much sugar, what does it do to our bodies? And um, is it necessary to have sugar in our bodies?
Okay, sugar is high in calories, and these calories, most are empty calories, meaning they don't benefit our bodies in any way. Just like if I eat bread, there's a difference between eating bread as a starch and having a Coke as a drink. In bread, I'm going to get uh, energy with vitamins and minerals and fiber and a little bit of protein. But if I consume soda, that is just empty calories that are not going to help me in any way. So because this sugar is high in calories, if you eat it excessively, it's going to make you gain weight because too much of these calories that the body is not going to be able to use all of them is going to make you gain weight. So we don't say people should not eat sugar like totally. I saw this trend early this year, 90 days no sugar. And I just
Mm-hmm.
felt like people were just setting themselves up for some failure because when we restrict ourselves too much. Once I say I'm going to spend 90 days without having sugar, if I'm going to have it for the fifth day, I'm going to feel like a failure. The sixth day, I'm going to do it even worse. So we are allowed to have a little bit of sugar in our diet. It shouldn't take more than 5% of your daily energy intake. And or we can say adults should not consume more than 6 teaspoons of sugar in a day, and children should not consume more than 3 teaspoons of sugar in a day. But sugar can be part of a healthy diet if consumed in moderation. I always believe in the 80-20 rule, meaning 80 to 90% of the time we need to consume healthy things, and then 10% of the time, 10 to 20% of the time, we reserve it for what we call treats. Treats are food that we like, but they are considered unhealthy. So we need to have them once in a while and in moderation.
Mm-hmm. So, are there any forms of sugar that are good for us, or should we avoid them? Are they all bad sugar?
Okay, people always think that honey is better than sugar or brown sugar is better than white ones, but they are all sugars. The only exception is honey is a little bit low in GI, but it doesn't make much difference and it also has a little bit of antibacterials, but it's so little that it won't even make any effect in our body. So whether you have sugar or honey or brown sugar or white sugar, it's still going to raise your blood sugar level. It's still high in calories, so you need to have it in calories. So if you're trying to reduce the amount of sugar that you are having a day, at least have sugar replacements like xylitol, like canderel. Those are reduced in calories. They have around, I think Canderel has 46 kilojoules of energy, which is close to zero. and xylitol has around 86 kilojoules of energy, which is close to nothing as well. So if you are someone who's trying to watch the amount of energy that you are consuming, you need to maybe stick to those sugar replacements. But honey is the same as sugar. It also raise the blood sugar levels the same way sugar is raising blood sugar levels. If you're having honey, just have it because you prefer the taste, not because you think it's better than sugar.
Yeah, but all of these, yeah, the xylitol, the Candrol, they also come at a price. I mean, they're not very affordable for somebody who is looking to cut down sugar. So, what other options and substitutes are there?
Okay, the other thing that you can do if you are used to having 4 teaspoons of sugar in your tea, can cut it to three, cut it to two until you can have just 1 teaspoon. You acquire the taste eventually. So if you're having four, you cut it to three, cut it down to two until you can have 1 teaspoon, which won't make much damage. Like I say, sugar can be part of a healthy diet as long as we do it in moderation.
Hmm. And is it possible to quit sugar completely? Or in fact, should we be quitting sugar completely?
No, like I said in the beginning, I don't believe in restricting people too much. I cannot tell you as an adult and say to you, you should never ever eat ice cream ever again in your life. You are a human being. There'll come a day that you will crave for ice cream. So that is why I say, as long as you're eating healthy 80 to 90% of the time, that little bit of cake that you're going to have once in a while won't make any damage. So we shouldn't feel guilty for having a piece of cake once in a while, as long as we are not having it every day, we're not having it daily. It's a once in a while thing, and it's just a small piece of it.
Hmm.
So there's no need to put it in. Just have it in moderation.
Hmm. I know that winter we've been consuming a lot more sugar in our bodies. You know, we're having like 3 or 4 cups of tea or coffee a day, and you know, every time we want to put in enough sugar so that we taste our teas and our coffees. And in actual essence, you should be tasting the tea or the coffee and not the sugar. The sugar is just there to add a little bit, just to make it easy for you to drink. And otherwise, what's the point of drinking your tea or coffee? You're not tasting the tea, you're tasting the sugar.
Yes.
Okay. What will become of our bodies if we don't take sugar? Like, does it affect? Will it affect us in some way? Will we become like having too much sugar? We gain weight. So what about not having sugar? What happens to our bodies?
Okay, I don't think anything will happen, but we will still need to eat the starchy group. Like we have different types of food groups, but our body still needs energy from the starchy group, which is then converted, which is then digested to form sugar in our small intestines. So when you are cutting sugar, don't cut the starchy group completely. Just cut refined sugar. If you want to cut out sugar from your diet, it won't have any damage, but you'll still need to have your starchy food because they're important for energy. They're important for giving you fiber. They're also important for giving you some of the vitamins and minerals.
All right.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Moloko. That has been informative. And well, people should not be cutting down on sugar. Maybe for a week, cut down on sugar for a week so that it can be easier for you to have less sugar. But don't cut it out completely.
No, just
Thank you
have it
so
in
much.
moderation, no restrictions.
All right. Moderation is key. Thank you so much for your time, Moloko. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
That was a dietitian, Moloko Mehlape, talking to us about sugar and cutting it down. Uh, as she said, don't cut down sugar completely and don't restrict yourself. Moderation is key. So just have it in smaller quantities. If you used to have 4 teaspoons, have it in three, and then two, and then one, until you can get to half a teaspoon of sugar. But winter will be leaving us very soon, and we'll be bringing out the cooler drinks, the colder drinks, the sodas, the juices, and that's when we want to consume sugar. That's when we will be consuming a lot more sugar without realizing it. So make sure that you are cutting down on your sugar intake. And if you're having soda, try diluting it. Um, you can dilute it with plain water, or you can use sparkling water so that it's not too sweet for you. You can do the same with juice as well, dilute it with water. Pretend you're making oros or some experiment out there, and especially for kids, if you have young kids, too much sugar is not good. So dilute those juices, dilute those sodas, and that will be a much better option for you instead of cutting down completely while watching others enjoy the drinks. Okay, do stay with us. We will be right back after the break.